Chapter 65, A Night of Torrential Rain. For cities, night. The four cities at night are far more bustling than Dasheng. The streets and alleys are flashing with dazzling neon lights, and virtual 3D corporate advertisements are playing on the top of the tall buildings. Various 3D images of celebrities twist and turn freely in the dark night sky. The dazzling lights of the city stand in stark contrast to the darkness outside, proving that humanity can never truly conquer the night. Outside the headquarters of Qiangxing Heavy Industries, on a street filled with dazzling neon lights, a hunched figure strolled among the crowd. What a hassle! They even require infiltration. Wouldn't it have been better to just go all out and charge in? The old man muttered to himself. Fortunately, the target is no big deal. I even struggled for a while. The old man glanced up at the rooftop swimming pool of the Qiangxing Heavy Industries headquarters, coughed, tightened his clothes, and walked into the public restroom in the shadows. A moment later, a glamorous woman with heavy makeup and big, wavy hair walked out. I'm almost falling in love with myself. Big waves patted his chest. Unfortunately, there's no corresponding feeling. Wait, what would I do with all these feelings? Never mind. A voluptuous woman with long, wavy hair swayed as she arrived at the parking lot below the Qiangxing Heavy Industries building. A moment later, Big Waves left the parking lot, carrying a small invitation in her hand. Even in the four major cities of Sichuan province, where large enterprises abound, Qiangxing Heavy Industry is considered a leading company. Its subsidiaries are located in various cities throughout Sichuan province, playing a pivotal role in engine manufacturing. The chairman's office on the 33rd floor of the Qiangxing Heavy Industries headquarters building. A young man in a floral green shirt sat in the chairman's seat, brazenly eyeing the beautiful office lady in front of him. His lewd eyes were fixed on the woman's black stockings, and his desire was undisguised. This man is named Li Hua. His mother is the chairman of Qiangxing Heavy Industries. After his father passed away early, his mother never remarried. Instead, she inherited his father's Qiangxing Heavy Industries and became the chairman of this large listed company. It is said that a doting mother spoils her son, and Li Hua is a living example. He has done countless heinous things by taking advantage of his mother's position as chairman of the board. Secretary Cheng, you don't want anything to happen to your husband, do you? Li Hua sat in the leather chair with his legs crossed, his eyes frivolous. I don't know what you're talking about, Mr. Li. Secretary Cheng shook her head, biting her red lips tightly. I don't have a husband. She was terrified because the young master Li Hua in front of her was extravagant and dissolute, seemingly insatiable for women, and his tastes were even more extreme than those of Cao Cao. If he were to admit that he was married and even had a 6-year-old daughter, he was afraid that something bad would definitely happen tonight. Secretary Cheng, I've checked your information. Li Hua fiddled with a terminal on his watch, a pale blue virtual screen appearing on it. Lin Han, 28 years old, is the rebellious son of the Lin family in the capital. He fled to City 10 years ago and was taken in by Secretary Cheng. Over time, they developed feelings for each other. No, stop talking. Secretary Cheng clenched her fists, her whole body trembling. However, Li Hua continued reading aloud Cheng's husband's information. 3 years later, Lin Han left a letter and said he was going abroad to make his fortune, and not long after he left, Secretary Cheng, you discovered you were pregnant. Secretary Cheng, after Lin Han left, shouldn't his contract with you have been terminated? Secretary Cheng bit her lip tightly, remaining silent. Because what Li Hua said was true, half a month after Lin Han left, he forcibly terminated the contract with her. She was indeed abandoned, but she could understand Lin Han. Secretary Cheng, your man has abandoned you. Why don't you come with me? Li Hua stared at Secretary Cheng's legs, their beautiful, graceful curves and mysterious blackness captivating. No. Secretary Cheng turned to leave in a panic. It's late. I need to go home. My daughter is waiting for me. As soon as Secretary Cheng opened the door, she found 2 pairs of silver-level Valkyrie commander bodyguards blocking her way. What are you doing? Secretary Cheng's hands and feet grew cold. This is illegal detention. Let me leave. The bodyguards didn't speak, but their unwavering figures conveyed their answer. Oh, dear. Li Hua stood up from the leather sofa and said, Secretary Chung, as far as I know, Lin Han is on the Great Xia Alliance's battlefield in northern Myanmar. Isn't it a coincidence? My uncle is on the battlefield in northern Myanmar, and he's a battalion commander there. Do you think my uncle can control Lin Han? Secretary Chung, why don't I just help you kill that heartless Lin Han? Li Hua burst into unrestrained laughter. You, Secretary Chung took a deep breath. Do whatever you want, kill me if you want. Don't even think about threatening me. Secretary Chung gritted her teeth. Li Hua raised an eyebrow. You won't listen to me when I explain it to you properly. Do I have to resort to force? We live in a society governed by the rule of law. What are you trying to do? Secretary Chung asked stubbornly. What a joke. So-called rules and laws are just restrictions on you lowly people. For me, rules and laws are my talisman. Li Hua sneered mercilessly. What can you do? At worst, you can just pay someone to take the blame, and I'll still be living the carefree life. But, well, you're so beautiful. What can I do? Li Hua licked his lips. So, I won't force you. Not for now. The more stubborn and rebellious you are, the more excited I get. I love the feeling of conquering you, ha. Be thankful, those female celebrities are fighting over who gets into my bed, while you can do it anytime. Li Hua snorted coldly, then said to the 2 pairs of bodyguards, Take her away and lock her up, without food or water. Go to her hometown and find her parents, the usual rules, you know what I mean. Go. After Li Hua finished speaking, the 2 pairs of bodyguards stepped forward, knocked Secretary Chung unconscious, put her in a large suitcase, and took her away. After the others left, Li Hua glanced at the time, got up, and walked out the door, preparing to head to the rooftop outdoor swimming pool. Snap. There is a 50-meter corridor between the chairman's office and the elevator. Apart from the chairman's office, there are no other rooms on the entire 33rd floor, and other staff members are not allowed to disturb the chairman. The elevator does not have a 33rd floor, which is also to prevent others from disturbing the chairman's office. Of course, it's even more unacceptable for the Valkyrie and the commander to come together, after all, to prevent assassination. Li Hua slowly walked towards the elevator. Sudden. Snap. The lights in the passageway are off. In an instant, darkness descended. Li Hua panicked instantly. What's going on? Who's playing a prank? Turn on the lights. Turn on the lights. Da-da-da. The sound of high heels clicking against the floor tiles came from the darkness, along with the sound of a sharp object scraping against the ground. One can imagine that a woman in high heels walked over carrying a sword or similar weapon. Is he an assassin? Come here. Li Hua retreated in the dark. Don't hurt me, I'll give you money. Li Hua panicked. As he sensed someone approaching, Li Hua's lips curled into a slight smile. Sizzle, sizzle. In that instant, a blue laser beam shot out from the wall of the passageway, which then multiplied into dozens of beams that intertwined to form a laser net. The laser net illuminated the passageway, allowing Li Hua to see the woman ahead. She had a black face, red-soled high heels with pale gold lettering on the heels, and her long legs were covered with shiny lettering that read "So-and-so family." She wore a tight-fitting bodycon dress that accentuated her curvaceous figure and her ample weight. However, such a beautiful woman actually came to kill me. No matter how beautiful you are, you will still die. Ha ha ha. Li Hua sneered at the woman's overestimation of her abilities. Knowing that the commander and the Valkyrie couldn't come to the 33rd floor together, you arranged for a woman to assassinate me? Many people have tried to assassinate me. Who do you think you are? This laser net can even cut through B-grade armor material. Cutting open this mortal body? Isn't that a piece of cake? After saying that, the laser net rushed towards the woman with big, wavy hair. Buzz. Please, your laughter is awful. Li Hua looked at the woman, trembling all over, but suddenly a blood-red mask appeared on the woman's face. Collapse, 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 collapse. Li Hua's Adam's apple bobbed. You answered correctly, but there was no reward. That was the last thing Li Hua heard. The next second his head flew off. As he was dying, what appeared in his vision was a 1.6-meter tall mechanical cheetah. This form comes from Chapter 11. He couldn't understand it until his death. Why couldn't the laser net that could cut through B-grade armor materials even cut through a mechanical cheetah? However, he was already dead. The wavy-haired beauty walked up to Li Hua and said calmly, "System, access him." Yes, who else could this person be but Li Qianqi? Li Qianqi's access rights do not require the same kind of stripping and dismemberment as those of other members of the Honkai Church. A simple scan is sufficient. However, his use of Li Hua's identity is not temporary, but rather he intends to use it for a long time. If Li Hua is not killed, what if he suddenly reappears one day, creating two Li Huas in the world? Anyone would think of the Honkai Church. It just so happened that Li Hua was a villain, so they simply killed him to end the matter once and for all. Honestly, the Honkai Church is pretty awesome. They can just kill people whenever they want without any worries.
Ding.
All of Li Hua's data and information have been collected. Li Qianqi snapped his fingers, and a red glow, characteristic of a red card holder, emanated from his body. In the blink of an eye, Li Qianqi transformed from a curvaceous young man with big, wavy hair into the spoiled playboy Li Hua. Big waves look better. The target is Lin Han. Sigh. They actually want me to play the villainous young master in an urban fantasy novel. Do I look like a bad person? Li Qianqi muttered to himself. No, it's you. Chapter 67A Blonde. Blue-eyed beauty. Rooftop swimming pool. As soon as Li Qianqi arrived at the rooftop swimming pool of Qiangxing Heavy Industries, he was surrounded by several swimsuit-clad beauties. Large patches of their white skin rubbed against him, which was truly unbearable. This place is awesome. The swimming pool is filled with transparent, soft, hard, and spiky toys. On the table under the parasols are ropes, candles, and various other interesting educational toys for children. In the very center is a large rotating platform with a ringed pillar in the middle. At the bottom of the platform are pairs of footprints. This must be the legendary attraction. Can you guess? Young master, you've finally arrived. The ladies haven't showered yet. They're all waiting for you to come and join them. A swimsuit-clad bunny girl murmured sweetly. Li Qianqi was really struggling to keep up, not knowing where to look. Li Hua really knew how to have fun. This huge rooftop swimming pool had hundreds of beautiful women, but only one man. Li Qianqi had never seen anything like this before. If he weren't currently one with Jejia, who knows what he might have done? Young master, come quick. Young master, look over here. Young master, look at me, look at me. Young master. Young master. Young master. Young master. Young master. Li Qianqi was completely bewildered by the repeated calls of young master in such a sweet and coquettish tone. Rich people really know how to have fun. But Li Qianqi dared not move. Not even a little bit. He could hear the grinding of his teeth in his ears. If he really couldn't control himself, Jejia would definitely make him pay. But being surrounded like this isn't a solution, even though it's quite enjoyable. At that very moment, a loud bang echoed in the sky, as if something had pierced through the clouds and swooped down from above. It's not just a feeling, it's clearly it. An F-20 fighter jet swooped down and, as it approached the rooftop swimming pool, suddenly swung its tail and hovered above the rooftop. The fighter jet spewed blue and red exhaust flames from its tail. The rear hatch opened, and a blonde, blue-eyed beauty in a low-cut dress appeared at the doorway. The neckline of her dress even reached her navel. This woman was absolutely stunning, with deep-set eyes and exquisite features. Her naturally fair skin, typical of Caucasians, was like white porcelain. Her pale gold dress was adorned with diamond-like tassels, and as the jet exhaust billowed up, it revealed her long, slender, snow-white legs. Blonde hair flowing freely, fiery red lips, exotic charm, a breathtaking sight. The other women in the swimming pool, looking at the mixed-race beauty's goddess-like aura, couldn't help but feel ashamed of themselves. Women all have a love of beauty. Strictly speaking, almost all of them do. The fact that such a stunningly beautiful woman flew over in a fighter jet only made them feel even more inferior. My young master has actually hooked up with such a beauty? No. What did she see in the young master? That's really strange. All the women looked on with envy, but Li Qianxi clutched her stomach, her nausea churning, and she almost cried out. The blonde beauty leaped from the fighter jet, her delicate eyes glancing at the other women. She pulled a black and white watch from her small handbag and said, "Li Hua is mine tonight. You can all put on your clothes and leave." Hearing the blonde woman's indifferent tone, several women became displeased, crossed their arms, and snorted coldly. "How much is a watch worth? Who do you think you are?" The blonde woman wasn't angry. She simply tossed the watch into the swimming pool. A watch? This is Dragon Team, Flame Sword, a B-grade mecha weapon. It's only worth about 45 million Xia coins, right? Upon hearing this, the other women's expressions changed instantly. Without saying a word, they jumped into the swimming pool to grab the so-called watch. Young Master Li Qian. Oh no. Young Master Li Hua. Would you like to spend the night with me now? The blonde woman looked at Li Qianxi, a slight smile playing on her lips. Certainly. Li Qianxi suppressed her nausea and nodded. It's really disgusting. Chapter 68 Mission Objective, Lin Han. An outdoor swimming pool, inside a luxuriously decorated room. The blonde bombshell looked at the women outside the one-way mirror with a half-smile, a slight upturn at the corners of her mouth. Young Master Li Hua, this extravagant life isn't bad, is it? Want to sleep with me? Strangely, Jia didn't say much, but instead burst into laughter in Li Qianxi's mind, thoroughly enjoying herself. Ha ha ha. Jia laughed so hard she almost fell over. Brother, why don't you sleep with him? Get lost. Li Qianxi was speechless. He said with obvious disgust, Hurry up, change back. It's disgusting. The blonde bombshell pouted. Just kidding. After she finished speaking, the skin on her face and body began to dissolve, and the dissolved skin tissue condensed into a red mask, Red Card 8. It's so cool to pinch. This blonde bombshell is actually the man known as Red Card 8 in disguise. Just imagine how much money he could swindle with this kind of technology for online dating. I'd like to ask you a question, Senior, Li Qianxi said earnestly. You say. So, after you became a woman, did you have sex with a man? This was also the thing that Li Qianxi was most curious about. Honkai Mask can transform into a woman. Although she doesn't possess the motorcycle and mecha transformation abilities of a normal Valkyrie, her body looks almost identical to a woman's. Li Qianxi stared at himself in the mirror for a long time before, and if Jia hadn't been there, he might have tried to feel what it was like. What are you thinking? Hu Xianjun raised an eyebrow. What do you think I, a grown man, would do such a thing? So, what does it feel like? Li Qianxi asked stubbornly. I don't feel anything, it's fake. Li Qianxi stared in shock at the burly Hu Xianjun, her atoms apple bobbing. You? With a man? Climb. I tried it myself with a toy. Hu Xianjun said hastily. Oh. Li Qianxi nodded, then immediately realized. Toys? Why would a grown man like you have those kinds of toys? Hu Xianjun fell silent, then quickly changed the subject. Get lost, I'm talking to you about serious business. Li Qianxi didn't continue, quickly putting away his smile and listening attentively to the next task. Ahem. Hu Xianjun cleared his throat. The reason I'm having you replace Li Hua is firstly because you two have similar personalities and act arrogantly, making it less likely you'll be exposed. Of course, you're both exactly the same when it comes to being lecherous. You're both perverts. Who the hell are you calling a pervert? Li Qianxi retorted. How am I, a fine young man, a pervert? Sorry, you're not old yet. All right, let's get down to business. Hu Xianjun called out to his terminal, pulled up a document, and said in a serious tone. Our mission is to either turn this person against us or kill him. Li Qianxi examined the document. Name, Lin Han. Age, 30. Talent, SS level. Level, Diamond 3. Valkyrie, SS rank meteor dragon. Background: he was once the illegitimate son of the Lin family head in the capital of Great Xia. After his mother was forced to death by his stepmother, he became the target of public criticism. He fled the capital and came to the 4 major cities. Later, he went to the northern Myanmar battlefield to fight against the Black Spider Mech Corps of the Honkai Church and rose rapidly within 6 years. Mission requirements: win over Lin Han and find a way to uncover the forces behind his rise to power. Li Qianxi felt a chill run down her spine when she saw Lin Han's message. Boss who, if you want to kill me, just say so. Li Qianxi shrank his neck. What do you mean by that? Damn it, this guy is a diamond level 3 expert. You want me to turn him against me? What if he turns around and kills me? So Li Hua has an important bargaining chip, right? Hu Xianjun pulled up several more surveillance videos. The woman in the video is Chung Ruoxue, the woman Lin Han loved the most and wronged the most. She's in your hands now. Her daughter is in your hands too. The first scene in the surveillance footage is from the chairman's office on the 33rd floor of Qiangxing Heavy Industries, Chapter 65. The second is a woman with her hands tied, lying in a dark room. The third is a beautifully sculpted little girl locked in a pigsty, etc. The battlefield in northern Myanmar, a first love back home, a first love captured by a thug, a daughter locked in a pigsty. What's with this strange sense of déjà vu? Lin Han, is he really the urban dragon king or god? And my current identity as Li Hua is just a villainous young man? Goodness, even though the Honkai Church is the villain, this is just too classic. Holy crap, am I about to be killed by Lin Han, the Dragon King God of War? Boss who? I've just stirred up a lot of hatred. What if they come back and kill me? Li Qianxi was a little scared. So, what if he's dead? Hu Xianjun shook his head indifferently. Li Qianxi was dumbfounded. What does it mean to say dead is dead? Don't misunderstand. What I mean is Li Hua's identity is dead, not that you, the person, are dead. Hu Xianjun laughed. That's more like it. Hu Xianjun patted Li Qianxi on the shoulder and said reassuringly, don't worry. You're only responsible for playing the role of the young scoundrel. The other deacons are responsible for the task of directly confronting Lin Han. Don't worry, we've been planning this since Lin Han was 3 years old. Trust me, he'll be a lot of fun. Hu Xianjun patted his butt, put the mask of red card 8 back on, and transformed once again into the beautiful blonde bombshell. By the way, if you, with this identity, didn't die, then the little girl you're with will have an identity. She could be your illegitimate daughter with someone else. Get out. Li Qianxi felt so disgusted, she wanted to vomit. Who has an illegitimate daughter with you? Disgusting. Ha ha ha. Commander Hu Xianjun laughed, turned around and walked out of the room. Li Qianxi watched Hu Xianjun's retreating figure, his mind becoming heavy. I was just a tool in this mission. Someone else was actually carrying it out. This shows that the Honkai Church doesn't trust me yet. Nonsense, I've only been in the church for a short time. Why would they trust me? And also, given the methods of the Honkai Church, Li Qianxi was extremely worried that Lin Han would be turned against them, a commander who was close to diamond level joining the Honkai Church, and at such a young age, the consequences were truly unimaginable. I'm here to destroy the church and kill you all, not to do your bidding. Since Lin Han is given the script of the Urban Dragon King God of War, why not just let him really be like the Dragon King God of War and smash through the collapsed church? However, this matter needs to be carefully planned. The next day, in the abandoned warehouse of Qiangxing Heavy Industries on the outskirts of the 4 cities. Greetings, young master. Greetings, young master. Greetings, young master. The 2 rows of bodyguards bowed in unison to Li Qianxi in the middle. Ahem. Li Qianxi coughed lightly. You didn't touch this little girl, did you? No, the bodyguards replied. Okay. Li Qianxi nodded. You can all go out now. Don't come in later, no matter what noise you make. Yes. Although the bodyguards were suspicious, they all left the abandoned warehouse, closed the door, and stood guard outside. After dismissing the bodyguards, Li Qianxi walked towards the pigsty in front of him. Don't be surprised where the pigsty came from. It's not strange that an abandoned warehouse has been converted into a pig farm, is it? Uncle, don't hit Cece. A dirty little girl covered her head in the pigsty, almost crying out of fear. Li Qianxi felt so sorry for the little girl when she saw how dirty she looked. How can this be? How could you treat such a beautiful creature as a little girl like this? That's outrageous. System, grant me access. Host, you're so young and you still want to access the site? I look down on you. Stop talking nonsense. Let me have the interview. A moment later, the warehouse door opened. Li Qianxi carried a dirty little girl as he walked out. You guys stay here and keep watch. I'll have someone bring it back after I'm done. Chapter 69 Dragon King War God, Lin Han. After Li Qianxi left, the bodyguards began to whisper among themselves. Hey, young master, didn't you usually like mature married women? Why have you changed your taste? Don't pry into the young master's affairs. That little girl, she's so pitiful to look at. I couldn't help but shed tears if I were in her shoes. Young master wants to eat rice bowls, right? That Cheng Ruoxue is also incredibly beautiful. The mother and daughter. TSK. Young master really knows how to have fun. Looks like we'll have to stay put once that little girl is brought back. All right, keep watch. 3 hours later, a sleek Maybach sped up, dropped the little girl off, and then quickly drove away. As soon as the little girl got off the car, she walked towards the pigsty on her own. Looking at the little girl's bruises and numb expression, the bodyguard thought to himself with a hint of mockery, our young master really knows how to have fun. The protagonist isn't a pervert. There will definitely be a plot twist. The little girl walked towards the pig pen, squatted helplessly in the corner, buried her head between her knees, and sobbed silently. The little girl clutched a piece of paper in her hand. A cell phone was hidden under her floral dress, and a faint smile played at the corners of her lips. The flavor is too strong now. 2 days later, outside of Great Xia, on the battlefield in northern Myanmar. Hello, is this Daddy? Can you come and save Cece and Mommy? There are so many bad people, they're all hitting Cece. Cece is in so much pain, so scared. Mommy's been locked up too. What? Little friend, did you dial the wrong number? A gentle male voice came from the other end of the phone. I secretly found your phone number in my mom's notebook. She saved it as Cece's dad. My mom's name is Cheng Ruoxue and our dad's name is Lin Han. Are you Dad? Please help us. I'm in so much pain. Ah. Snap. The sound of the phone hitting the ground rang out. Ah. I didn't make the call. Bang, I won't do it again. Ah. Bang, zzz. The sound of a phone being crushed by someone's foot rang out, and the call ended. In the center of the battlefield in northern Myanmar in the northern border of Great Xia, Lin Han, in his upgraded Hushur's form, gripped the terminal tightly, his white knuckles slowly contracting, crushing the terminal into a shriveled piece of scrap metal. Cheng Ruoxue, that was the name he longed for day and night. She was pregnant with my child? But now his lover has been arrested, his daughter has been humiliated, and he has no time to think about anything else. All he can think about right now is getting back to City as soon as possible and rescuing his lover and daughter. I want to go back to the 4 capitals. Lin Han roared at his subordinates in the distance, who were also in the upgraded Hushur state. His eyes were red and hot tears were streaming down his face. Boss, but the Black Spider Fighter Group and the wild beasts haven't been completely wiped out yet, the subordinate said with a troubled expression. Besides, leaving now would mean facing the Great Siamek Alliance military court. This is a battlefield. If Lin Han leaves, he will be considered a deserter, and deserters will face the military court of the Great Xia Alliance. Moreover, since the emergence of the Overlord Uspel within the Great Xia territory, the wild beasts have fled on a large scale. With the wild beasts interfering, the battle with the Black Spider Machine Squad has become even more difficult. Black Spider. Lin Han's killing intent suddenly erupted. He looked coldly at the Black Spider Mech Squadron in the distance, and the intense killing intent was even visible to the naked eye. He had initially gained the upper hand in the battle against the Black Spider Mech Squad. Although his wing was damaged, He had just beheaded a level 5 diamond beast and killed a level 4 diamond member of the Black Spider Mech squad. We can win as long as we fight a protracted battle, but there's no time left. Wong Ergu, 3 minutes. Send 10 platinum level or higher Herrscherform fighter jets to destroy the Black Spider and the Wild Beast. 1 jet should fly towards the 4 major cities of Great Xia. Lin Han said coldly into the walkie-talkie. I just killed a diamond level 5 Wild Beast and a diamond level 4 Black Spider fighter squadron. My wings are damaged, and I don't have much energy left. His Valkyrie wings were damaged, and he didn't have much energy left. He could only fly fast enough by borrowing the help of other people's fighter jets. Now that his wife and daughter's lives were uncertain, he couldn't afford to wait. Darling, was that your daughter just now? Lin Han's meteor dragon Valkyrie voice echoed in his mind. Are you going back to find your first love?
Yes.
I owe them so much. Okay. I hear you talk about how wonderful she is every day, and I've been wanting to meet her for a long time. You don't mind? Lin Han took a deep breath. I love you. I love everything and everyone you love. Thank you, Natalia. Lin Han's anger subsided slightly. I cherish and love both of you equally. The Russian girl's name. Darling, you still have 1 link slot, right? Hurry up and form a contract. From now on, Chung Ruoxue will be my older sister. Thank you, Natalia. Lin Han, as a super commander, possesses the legendary linker talent. However, his linker ability cannot be upgraded. He can only link to an additional Valkyrie. Wow, an urban dragon king with a harem? Bang, bang, bang. Sizzle, sizzle. Countless shells and lasers were fired at Lin Han, but he did not dodge. He let the bullets hit his body, making a sound like steel clashing. The ascended Herrscherform, although it looks like a body of flesh and blood, is actually more monstrous in terms of defense than the mech form. Lin Han braved countless shells and lasers, leaping to a mountaintop where he looked down at the dense barrage of bullets raining down on him. Brush. Less than 2 minutes later, a fighter jet flew in. Without hesitation, Lin Han leaped high into the air and plunged into the fighter jet's hatch. Quickly, get to the 4 cities. Lin Han roared, his patience completely exhausted. To hell with the military court. If anything happens to my wife and daughters, I'll make the whole world pay. Yes. The helicopter commander dared not say anything more and could only fly the fighter jet toward the 4 cities. Lin Han's killing intent pierced through the clouds, causing them to part in the middle to make way for him. He was like a peerless divine sword slashing across the sky, and wherever he passed, everything avoided him, fearing to be touched by his sharp edge. Chapter 69: The Wrath of the Dragon King and the God of War. 138. Lin Han read out a number. Locate it, quick, quick, quick. As he spoke, Lin Han completely lost control of his emotions. His body trembled uncontrollably, his breathing became rapid, and 2 streams of hot tears flowed uncontrollably. He was absolutely certain that the person who had called him earlier was his daughter, the biological daughter of Lin Han, the Grand Master of the Dragon King Palace. And now his daughter, whom he had never met, was imprisoned and being beaten. Since contracting the SS rank Valkyrie Meteor Dragon and discovering his own SS rank talent, Lin Han has never experienced such a great stimulus. Ah! Lin Han clutched his chest, his Adam's apple bobbing as he let out a shrill roar like that of a wild beast. His heart was filled with boundless self-reproach and overwhelming rage. Dark clouds filled the sky, and a low rumble of thunder came from the clouds high above, unlike the thunderous roar of summer, as if the heavens and earth were afraid of his wrath. Even the platinum-level fighter commanders had never seen the Dragon King in such a state, and were so shocked that they accelerated again. The fighter pilot was so frightened by Lin Han that he dared not speak. In their memories, Lin Han was the strongest person on the northern battlefield of the Great Xia Kingdom. He once served as a wanderer on the northern battlefield, where he encountered the wandering girl meteor dragon Natalia, and then met a mysterious benefactor, after which he rose to prominence. Now, he is a powerful figure guarding the gates of the Great Xia Kingdom. Dragon King Lin Han has been fighting against the Black Spider Mech Squadron of the Collapsed Church for many years. Even now, with the addition of the wild beasts, Lin Han and Natalia have managed to defeat the wild beasts and the Collapsed Church one after another with his unparalleled bravery. He never shed a tear even when he was almost beheaded. After becoming the Dragon King, he joined forces with Natalia to storm the Northern Sin Triangle and kill the world's most wanted criminal, Black Star. He survived 7 incursions and emerged with Black Star's head. On that day, the Sin Triangle was a scene of carnage and bloodshed, with rivers of blood flowing and lakes within 100 miles turning red. Yet this powerful figure, who had teetered on the brink of death for many years, was now weeping uncontrollably. Everyone knew that this Dragon King was no pushover. He had been to a military court dozens of times. There is a saying, when the Dragon King is angry, blood flows for 1,000 miles and 1,000,000 corpses lie in wait. This trip to the 4 major cities will likely involve another massacre. Lin Han had been summoned for questioning before. When asked about the horrific killings, he simply replied, "If you had my experience, you might not be half as kind as me." The title of Dragon King is not something he boasted about, nor was it a title bestowed upon him by anyone. It was earned through sheer hard-fought battles. Valkyrie Natalie deactivated her Ascended Hersher's form, gently patted Lin Han's back, and said, "Han, calm down. Don't let anger overwhelm your reason. Perhaps this is also a conspiracy by the Honkai Church?" Lin Han swallowed hard, his fist clenched as if it were a lump of iron. "The Great Siamek Alliance promised to completely block any news about my wife and children. The people from the Collapsed Church have no idea that Ruashua is my wife. How could it be the Collapsed Church's doing? But if it really was the work of the Collapsed Church, then there is a traitor within the Great Siamek Alliance. But no matter what, if anything happens to my wife and children, neither the Collapsed Church nor the Great Siamek Alliance will escape punishment." Lin Han clenched his fists, recalling the past. Lin Han, originally named Xiao Han, was the first heir to the Xiao family, a reclusive and wealthy family in the capital. 7 years ago, his mother was forced to commit suicide by a mistress who couldn't wait to take his place. Afterward, he was falsely accused of having an affair with a driver, and he himself was kicked out of the family by this nominal stepmother. The young master of the Xiao family was expelled from his home, and the capital was turned upside down overnight. His stepmother, however, had no intention of letting Xiao Han go, sending assassins to hunt him down. During those days, he hid everywhere in sewers, under bridges, and even in swill buckets. No one around him could be trusted. His former brothers and close friends all avoided him, and some of his so-called brothers even betrayed him, selling out his whereabouts, all to curry favor with the Chu family behind his stepmother. Fortunately, there are still good people in this world. Hu Xianjun, a truck driver he had helped before, stepped in to help him and secretly took him away from Beijing to Sita City in Sichuan province to escape the pursuit. Xiao Han severed all ties with his father, who was extremely cold-blooded and neglected him, and changed his surname to his mother's, becoming Lin Han. That year, he went from being the respected young master of the Xiao family to a beggar being hunted down and reduced to living on the streets. This was the darkest moment of his life. Everything happened so suddenly and so coldly, like a sharp knife piercing his heart in an instant, causing him unbearable pain. He had once dreamed of making a comeback, but the Xiao family had completely abandoned him, colluding with the Chu family, another reclusive and powerful clan. Lin Han searched everywhere for justice, but the enemy's power was too great. He was like a mantis trying to stop a chariot with his own strength. The continuous pursuit and betrayal made him completely lose the will to live. On that cold winter night 6 years ago, Lin Han, dressed in tattered clothes, stood on the Linjiang Bridge in Jiangbei City, looking down at the calm river. A thin layer of ice covered the surface of the water, and the surrounding air was filled with a biting cold, just like his frozen heart, cold and lifeless. Lin Han sat on the overpass, contemplating jumping into the river to end his desolate life. However, "Hello? How about a cup of milk tea?" A gentle female voice reached my ears. Lin Han turned his head, and the lights of the overpass shone on the girl from behind, as if a light was emanating from her. Just when Lin Han was feeling utterly hopeless, this little sun appeared before his eyes. Seeing that Lin Han didn't speak, the girl sat down next to him. Hello, my name is Chung Ruashua. I just graduated from university. What about you? Lin Han remained silent. The girl brushed the snow off Lin Han. Her face was a little chubby, making her look very cute. Her eyes were beautiful when she smiled, like crescent moons. It's very impolite not to answer someone's question. As she spoke, she gracefully handed Lin Han a cup of milk tea, saying, It's hot. I haven't had any yet. Lin Han didn't answer, remaining motionless like a wooden figure. Come on, it's cold here. Come home with me. I'll cook noodles for you. Chung Ruashua smiled radiantly, her bright eyes narrowing into beautiful crescent moons. You. Lin Han's chapped lips moved slightly. Aren't you afraid I'm a bad person? To be honest, I'm a little scared. Chung Ruashua replied seriously, but you shouldn't be a bad person. On that cold night, Lin Han ate the warmest and most delicious noodles. After that, Lin Han lived with her. Although the house was small, it was much warmer than the Shao family's house. Under Chung Ruashua's youthful vigor and warm enthusiasm, Lin Han emerged from the shadows and gradually regained his motivation to live. But Lin Han's life wasn't just his own. It also belonged to his mother, who had died unjustly, and his best friend who had helped him escape from the capital. He couldn't stay by her side for too long. The Shao and Shu families would soon discover his whereabouts. You are a beautiful woman, but I am burdened with a blood feud. A year later, he left Chung Ruashua, left Zhongbei City, left the Great Xia Kingdom, and went to the battlefield. He wants overwhelming power. He wants the power to overturn everything, the humiliation I once suffered, my mother who died unjustly, my friend who died tragically. I want revenge. Lin Han arrived at the northern battlefield and fought his way through bloody battles. Finally, 6 years later, he established the Dragon King Palace, which made the whole world fear him. He had 4 heavenly gods and 9 war gods under his command, and countless powerful people flocked to him. While it cannot be compared with the 7 major machinery alliances, it far surpasses the world's top 500 heavy industry enterprises. He now possessed the power for revenge. He had planned to return and seek revenge after defeating the Black Spider today, but he suddenly received a distress call from his daughter. For cities, when Lin Han thought of his daughter's heartbreakingly innocent voice just now, he felt as if his heart had been ripped open and torn to pieces. Cece, my daughter, is only 6 years old. How could those beasts bear to beat such a young child? Daddy, Cece is in so much pain. Daddy, come save me. Come save Mommy. Cece is so scared. Lin Han felt as if he were hallucinating. He couldn't help but think of the suffering his daughter and Ruashua had endured. Those heart-wrenching screams echoed in his mind, causing him unbearable pain. Hurry, Lin Han roared. My wife and daughter are in trouble. I want the entire city, no, the entire Wuchuan province to be buried with them. No, I want the whole world to perish with me. Lin Han has completely gone mad. Quick. No matter who it is, anyone who dares to harm my wife and daughters. I will kill your whole family, kill your entire household, young and old, until no one dares to make a move, until everyone is terrified. The name of the Dragon King is earned through bloodshed. Chapter 70. The Dragon King's Domineering Aura. For cities. Swoosh. An F-22 fighter jet flew over 4 cities. Boss, the signal source is in that abandoned warehouse. I've sent you the exact coordinates, the fighter commander said to Lin Han. Thanks, fourth brother. Until we meet again. Lin Han didn't say much goodbye, and he and Natalia jumped out the moment the hatch opened. Natalia, construct the Ascension network, come. Lin Han shouted as he fell. Ascension Hershers. Let our minds unite. Natalia transformed into a stream of light and attached herself to Lin Han. Constructing an upgrade network, upgrade target. Lin Han. Valkyrie Matrix Core undamaged, Commander Energy Core undamaged, fused with Hersher Core. Hersher Ascension activated. A spiral vortex appeared on the Valkyrie's built-in system page, and it upgraded almost instantly. Lin Han and Natalia's ascended Hersher state is not based on the Valkyrie's appearance, but on Lin Han as the commander's basic form. As long as the commander's quality and rank are higher than the Valkyries, the ascended Hershers can be constructed in the commander's appearance. So, the Machine Man form? At this moment, Lin Han was covered in silver-white biomaterial armor, with a pair of straight dragon horns on his head and a pair of majestic and huge wing-like thrusters on his back. Our minds are united, Lin Han murmured to himself. Lin Han's ascended Hersher's form lacks a mechanical feel but has an abundance of biological feel, making it look somewhat incongruous. Names: Lin Han, Natalia, Hersher's ascendant. Mechanical prototype: Meteor Dragon, based on a wild beast, a technology expansion type. Age: 30. Core quality: SS. Strength rating: Diamond 3. Attributes: Wind, Light. Valkyrie status: Upgraded Hershers, 29% combat damage, Dragon Wings left, damaged 65%, Commander Energy remaining 15%. Modification status: Equipped with mysterious and unknown beast-side technological components. With his dragon wings spread, from the ground, Lin Han's outstretched wings, combined with his slender body, made him look like a cross descending from the sky. It was as if divine punishment had descended from the heavens. Boom! Lin Han crashed to the ground, creating a huge crater and raising a cloud of dust. Suff! A strong wind rose up, instantly blowing away the dust. Lin Han raised his head and looked at the bodyguards outside the abandoned warehouse, his gaze as cold as a blood-stained ice blade. Click, click, click. Lin Han aimed the scope at the bodyguards, and then the dragon wings on his back emitted a bluish-white light, ready to annihilate all these ants. Destructive death ray, fire. Wait! Natalia's voice rang out. Don't kill them. Why Natalia? Lin Han asked, puzzled. This doesn't sound like something a female assassin like you would say. Your daughter is inside. You wouldn't want her to see her father covered in blood, would you? Murder is too heavy a burden for a 6-year-old girl. Not all girls are like I was when I was a child, Natalia said. Lin Han took a deep breath. Yes, Cece is still young. We can't let children see bloodshed. Anyway, these bronze-level trash can be wiped out at any time. Okay, knocking them out should be enough. For the sake of his daughter's physical and mental health, Lin Han forcibly suppressed the murderous intent in his heart. Swish! Suddenly, Lin Han's figure vanished instantly, and the next instant he reappeared at the warehouse entrance. Lin Han ignored the bodyguards and pushed open the door to enter. He saw that the bodyguards, who had already transformed into mecha forms, had all been forcibly deactivated and were sealed in place, unable to move or speak, and could only watch helplessly as Lin Han walked in. They all realized just how terrifying the other was. They could immobilize them in an instant. Just looking at the ascended Hersher state was enough to tell they were not to be trifled with. The moment Lin Han stepped into the abandoned warehouse and saw his daughter in the pigsty, his eyes widened in fury, and immense anger instantly overwhelmed his reason. Hearing it on the phone was infuriating enough, but seeing it with my own eyes. My daughter, Cece. They were locked in a pigsty. They were filthy, and there was pig feed on the ground. There were so many marks on his body, from being beaten. How awful. Absolutely awful. Who on earth made my daughter live in a pigsty and eat pig feed? And who beat her like this? A 6-year-old girl, and you beat her like this. The people outside the door, they're the ones who hit my daughter. They deserve to die. They really deserve to die. Wah. Chung Cece, who was huddled in the corner, opened her eyes and looked at Lin Han with red eyes. Are you? Lin Han. It's me, Cece. It's your father. Lin Han cried, tears streaming down his face. Call me Dad. Hey, Lin Han. Aren't you going to have your 100,000 soldiers build me a pigsty? Chung Cece said. Chapter 70. when the show is about to begin. Cece, what do you mean by this? Lin Han asked, puzzled. It's nothing. Cece lowered her head and walked out of the pigsty. Lin Han, Daddy, you finally came to save me. Lin Han looked at Cece, who was tiptoeing around, and was about to rush over to hug his daughter when he was stopped by Natalia's voice in his mind. Don't go. I suspect something's fishy. Lin Han's expression stiffened for a moment, and the corner of his mouth twitched slightly. Natalia, you mean? Cece might be someone from the Honkai Church in disguise. This little girl's behavior is a bit strange. She's talking incoherently. It's very likely. Lin Han's expression instantly darkened. If Cece is really replaced, I will give everything, even if it means being shattered to pieces, to wipe out the entire Church of Honkai. Don't rush. Don't rush. Try probing her. Ask this little girl about her mother. Although the high-level Honkai masks of the Honkai Church can take over other people's faces and bodies, they can't steal memories. She'll be exposed as soon as you ask her, Natalia said. All right. Lin Han took a deep breath and stared intently at Cece. Cece, I have a question for you. When is your mother's birthday? June 1st. Children's Day is my mom's birthday, and the next day is my birthday. Cece said pitifully. Daddy, do you doubt that I'm your daughter? Seeing Cece's pitiful and dirty appearance, Lin Han's heart almost melted. Having finally found his daughter, he was now suspicious of her. However, the Honkai Church had to be on guard, and even if his daughter didn't have a good impression of him, he had to keep asking. Cece, what flavor of tofu pudding does your mom like best? It's sweet. Cece lowered her head in grievance, tears welling up in her eyes. Mom said that savory tofu pudding is heresy. What kind of flowers does your mother like? Iris. Purple irises. What's your mom's best dish? My mom. She can't cook anything well, especially sweet and sour pork ribs. She loves to make them even though they taste terrible. Lin Han suddenly hugged Cece tightly. Cece, I'm your father. From now on, you'll be called Lin Cece. Daddy's back. There's no mistake. She is indeed his daughter. Even the last question, what's the best dish? If it were someone from the collapsed church interrogating Ruoxue or Cece, the only answers they'd get would be Mao Shui Wang or twice-cooked pork, two dishes that Ruoxue could reasonably recommend. Only the real person would tell the truth. Ruoxue really does cook badly, but most women, especially married women, would not admit that they are bad cooks. If she can answer all of these questions, she's most likely Cece. Oh no, Lin Cece. Cece, Dad isn't doubting you, it's just that. Lin Han rubbed Cece's head apologetically, his face full of remorse. Daddy. Cece doesn't blame you. Lin Cece shook her head and said very sensibly. Cece saw it. That bad guy had a woman next to him, who had turned into a man. Cece also saw that several of those bad guys could transform into other people. Maybe Daddy also thinks Cece is fake. Looking at Lin Cece, who was so sensible that it broke Lin Han's heart, Lin Han felt like his heart was bleeding. Children should be innocent and pure. A child who is too sensible will not make his parents worry less, but will make them feel even more heartbroken. Cece Ruoxue, how have they managed all these years? Don't the people of the Great Siamek Alliance protect my wife and daughter? Just because I left the Great Siamek Alliance to establish the Dragon King Palace? Aren't I still fighting for your Great Siamek Alliance? Alright, Cece, let's go find Mom, and then avenge you and Mom. Lin Han took Lin Cece's hand and walked out of the warehouse. He was somewhat afraid to look at his daughter. Cece had been living in a pigsty for the past few days, eating pig feed and being beaten frequently. What a heavy experience this must have been for a 6-year-old child. A group of adults bullying a 6-year-old girl? They're utterly inhuman, worse than animals. We arrived outside the warehouse. Looking at the well-dressed bodyguards outside, and then at the dirty Lin Cece, Lin Han's heart gradually turned cold. These people are dressed in suits and ties, but they must be used to eating meat and fish every day. But what about my daughter, Cece? They actually live in pigsties, eat pig feed, and get beaten up by you beasts. You all deserve to die. Lin Han's wings of light unfolded again, and he was about to kill them. But then he thought better of it and decided not to kill anyone in front of Cece, so he withdrew the cold light from his dragon wings. But after we leave here, you will still die without a burial place. Lin Han grabbed one of the bodyguards at random and interrogated him about what had happened to Chengruoshua. Li Hua. He. Lin Han was so angry he wanted to laugh. Li Hua? A spoiled brat? A spoiled brat dares to lay a hand on my Dragon King's wife. You think you can just ignore a mere spoiled brat, huh? I, Lin Han, have defended the northern border against the collapsed church for many years, and in the past month alone, I have killed no less than 10 diamond-level wild beasts. With such merits, how come your great Siamek alliance can't even stop a young scoundrel? Okay, that's great. That's really great. I defended the border for you, and you don't even care about my wife and daughter? This really breaks my heart. And your Honkai church, you're involved here too, aren't you? Neither of you are good people. Seeing Lin Han's increasingly angry expression, Lin Cece said sweetly, Daddy, squat down for a second. Although Lin Han was puzzled, he still squatted down. In his heart, he owed his wife and daughter far too much, and he would not hesitate to kneel down even if it meant doing so. Lin Cece tiptoed and gently ruffled Lin Han's hair, whispering to comfort him. Daddy, don't be angry. Hit those uncles in black too. They didn't hit Cece. They didn't hit you? Lin Han was slightly taken aback. But Cece, you have bruises on your body. Cece shook her head and said, It wasn't them who hit me. It was that big bad guy named Li Hua. He threatened my mother to marry him, and when she refused, he hit me. These uncles in black are just watching over me. It's only because of the big bad guy Li Hua's orders that I live in the pigsty and eat pig feed. They don't dare disobey. Even though Cece lives in the pigsty, the uncles in black give me the best food. Daddy, Mommy said we can't repay kindness with enmity. The uncles in black are secretly being nice to Cece, so you can't bully them. Hearing Cece's words, Lin Han's clenched fist loosened a little. Fine, since you didn't hurt my daughter, I'll spare your lives for now. So, all the hatred ultimately comes down to Li Hua? Prepare to face my wrath. Cece, let's go to Qiangxing Heavy Industries to find Li Hua and get your mother back. After Lin Han left, the bodyguards were finally able to move. This man is ridiculously strong. A Hershers of Ascension. Young master has really messed up this time. I think this man is no ordinary Hershers of Ascension. He's probably at least platinum level. Platinum. That's almost on par with the branch manager of the Four Cities Mecha Alliance. This guy is terrifying. I told you, treating that little girl well is always a good idea. Luckily, I had the foresight, one of the bodyguards said. Come on, you're just lusting after little girls. You wouldn't even let a 6-year-old go. You're disgusting. Just tell me, did I save you or not? Did I save you or not? You, ugh. Suddenly, all the bodyguards screamed in agony. One bodyguard was thankful to have survived a close call, but the next second he felt dizzy and could even see his own backside. Every bodyguard present felt like their heads were flying off.
No, not all of them.
One bodyguard actually transformed all by himself. He was the one who just chopped off everyone's heads with a single sword. The male bodyguard deactivated his transformation, then removed his mask, revealing the face of a middle-aged man. This man was none other than the red card 8 Hu Xianjun. Hu Xianjun gazed in the direction Lin Han had gone, a slight smile playing on his lips. The fish is about to take the bait. Hee. He then dialed Li Qianqi's number, but the call was immediately disconnected. Having no other option, Hu Xianjun had to switch to sending text messages. Lin Han is coming to find you, Li Hua. Hide well, and don't show your face. He thinks it won't be so easy for him to find you. Came the reply from the other end of the message, though it was a voice message. And it was the voice of a very young little girl. Hu Xianjun swallowed hard, recalling the little girl Lin Cece from just now. That little girl just now, was it you? Hu Xianjun's atoms, apple bobbed up and down. It's me. Holy crap. Hu Xianjun exclaimed in shock. Are you crazy? That's a diamond-level weapon. If you give even the slightest hint, you're dead. I'm not afraid. You little brat, you're really reckless. Fine, since that's the case, then be careful. Someone like you, playing such a big game, a mere bronze-level guy trying to infiltrate the ranks of diamond level. I've never seen anyone as fearless as you. Isn't that awesome? But you really have the heart to do that. Such a little girl, you just killed her like that, you just skinned her alive like that. You should probably stop killing children.
Good.
You can cooperate with the operation depending on the situation. I'll let you know when the time comes. It's okay if you don't want to cooperate. Just keep in touch whether you live or die. At least let me know if you're dead or alive. Good. Finally, please be careful.